Canadian, I think, cultural analyst and philosopher, coined the famous phrase, the medium is the message. I think coined to explain that if mass media is controlled by a few individuals, the messaging you're receiving is likely the agenda of those few individuals. We all know that MSNBC, CNN, the BBC ultimately represent a handful of views when it comes to global imperialism, the power of the state, partnerships between commerce and deep state bureaucracies that amount to the nullification of democracy as we understand it.
Russell Brand makes a lot of sense here.
If the medium really is
And he seems that he really means it, based on his body
the
language.
message, these days media has changed radically, and Charlie Kirk is perhaps a martyr not just for Christianity or republicanism or conservatism, but for this new form of media where everybody can have a voice. Maybe it's a free market ideology where the best messaging will succeed, but maybe there are other factors too. Certainly Sage just expressed her concerns about her own young adult children receiving a good amount of their information from TikTok and from other short form platforms. In the United Kingdom, there is division. For a brief moment this weekend, there appeared to be something
I mean, there is division everywhere, and it's like the old adage. How do you say it's divide et impera?
resembling unity because the
So society or somebody wants us divided, not being in a strong community.
nationalist marches led by Tommy Robinson seemed to be very, very successful and to go off almost without a hitch. We had a reporter there ourselves, and I believe we have some coverage of that march now.
Okay, this is a big march. So people are beginning to feel that something is not right.
It was a very well attended march. My friend Joe went, and he said that it was jubilant in the main. There was some solemnity, and there was a celebration and honoring of Charlie Kirk was part of it. What perhaps fascinated me most of all, it was that the counter protests seemed pallid, listless, pale, and awful, even for a kind of Antifa inspired movement, masked denizens of basements everywhere that wouldn't show their faces and couldn't really show their colors. What's fascinating is Elon Musk appeared and spoke at that march, excuse me,
Okay,
but
interesting.
via satellite or via some kind of link up, of course. And what's interesting is between Elon Musk and Tommy Robinson, you have perhaps in a way comparable to the certainly to the posthumous impact of Charlie Kirk in that Tommy Robinson is persona non grata in the UK. He's been jailed, he's been banned, he would be cancelled into oblivion were it not for the fact that Elon Musk has taken an interest, in particular around his reporting about rape gangs in the United Kingdom and has reposted a lot of Tommy Robinson content. So now you have a robust nationalist movement that's entirely outside of state sanctioned centralized control. And even those people on the left that were in attendance are in agreement with the majority of those marchers on one thing. Keir Starmer and the current UK government are in total failure and near collapse. Here, I think, is some of Elon Musk's conversation with Tommy Robinson. And I really want to hear what both of you think about what this means, particularly in the light of Charlie Kirk's death, for new politics, i.e., someone that is outside of the British political system, Elon Musk, who's essentially now, sort of, at least in this role, a magnate for media and communications, and
I mean, there is clearly something going on in this modern society. So I'm not into politics. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm only talking about body language, the message, if what is the psychology of this new zeitgeist and what's going on.
the marginal peripheral and in some quarters despised figure like Tommy Robinson are able to create and generate this kind of interest. What does it say about the British government? What does it say about media and communications? And what does it say about the future of the UK? Let's have a look at the
So some good arguments there, because clearly there is something going on in this society, and we have feminism which is gone astray, and it has been used. I think there's nothing wrong in the original idea of feminism, of like being two separate human beings, there's nothing wrong, but I feel that it has been starting being used as a weapon, against humans in general, because if women are not well, then men also cannot be well.
Elon Musk clip, I think it is.
The government can obviously use whatever powers are available to suppress the people. And so I really think there's got to be a change of government in Britain. And you can't, we don't have another 4 years or.
I mean, there has to come a change in the whole society. I don't think it's just about politics, even though, you know, in Western society, we're only talking about wealth, that you are worthy only with the money. Also, only if you have money, you're worthy. So, we're talking just about that. We're not talking anymore about being worth from within, taking power from within. That's what gets banned. In schools, we're not taught how to use our emotions, how to feel good, because the only thing that we're talking about is the outside. What matters to us, like our wealth, so wealth creation for ourselves, for our families, and relationships, how to create great relationships, first of all with ourselves, that with a special partner, then with the whole society, with the community, and then finally about our health. We're not being told how to be healthy, etc. So that's where I see a lot of problems in our society, and that's what I'm trying to address. And talking about this, I think it's healthy for ourselves and our future. Let's look.
Whatever the next election is, it's too long. There's genuine risk of rape and murder, and the destruction of the country, and dissolution of the entire way of life. If you weren't under a massive attack, then people should go about their business.
I mean, our society right now, it's not healthy. I can see how a lot of people are suffering. I think it's like 30-35% already depressed. So we are giving pills, which is okay in the short term, but the true power lies in inner freedom. It's not on the outside, it's in the inside. It's an inside job, my friends.
And just live their lives. But unfortunately, uh, if the fight comes to you, you don't have a choice. So you have to rally all of the people of Britain to fight for the future.
Let me ask
And if this doesn't happen, there won't be a future.
Are you ready to fight for your future, Britain?
Fight for your future. Do it. Go.
I mean, we need a different future with strong communities and strong value system, a strong value system, and essentially, uh, not being afraid to walk outside should be a value that we as a society, as a human society, follow.
Will we be gagged any longer, Britain?
Well, there you go. A bit of jingoism and excitement there, and Elon Musk doing his excited persona, which is always brings some very particular feelings to the forefront for me. God love him, that glorious and magnificent nerd.
Did you know most methylene blue sold online is the same grade used in fish tanks? That means low quality.
Okay, what's this? An ad. Okay, let's jump ahead. And let's continue here.
Dave, what do you think about that movement, and do you see that turning into real political collateral? And what do you think it indicates about the UK, mate?
Well, Russell, you asked three questions right when you threw into that. I had to write them all down because you say a lot of things per sentence. So first, as for the British government is completely screwed. Keir Starmer, I don't know. Look, I know I'm in my own bubble as we all are. I don't know anyone that supports the guy. You're right. Now the left is turning on him too. He's been just like a middle management nothing that for the most part people can fully see through. He also had a lot to do with the hiding of the Pakistani rape gang. So he's on his way out one way or another. He's either not radical enough for the left or he's just too transparently nothing for the right. So he's done.
I mean, this should be some universal values like not living in fear, not living in poverty, that should be our priority as humans on this planet.
The media portion we discuss all the time. I mean, I think this again represents to see Elon showing up with Tommy Robinson, who you're right, has been kicked out of every mainstream institution in your country. Piers Morgan won't even have him on his show. You know, I had Tommy on my show in 2016. We were supposed to have him on yesterday, but subsequently, because there was such that was such a huge event, reason to think that he wants anything much more grand than Britain for British people to have some values that were consistent with what your country had for quite literally thousands of years. I don't think
I
that
mean, as I said, this should be universal values to not being aped and to feel safe on the outside and to be being able to walk outside freely. This should be human universal values, not something that now we have to fight for and not feeling safe. If you people from the UK tell me, do you feel safe in your country? Do you feel okay there? How is this protest going? I have a book about inner freedom, how to build from the inside out the life that you want and to get the inner strength that you are probably craving from the outside, searching for the outside. We can work one-on-one. I'm a cognitive behavior therapist. You can find everything down in the description, maybe in comments if I add them. So thank you for watching. I hope you got something of value from this video and see you next time.